What's the deal, man? It's Professor Lauren in the cut. Yeah, man. So, welcome to the Professor Lauren channel. If you new, welcome in. If you've been here, man, welcome back. Catch what I'm saying? So, we gonna get into the purpose of the Professor Lauren channel, right? So, what is the purpose of this channel? The purpose of this channel is for me to teach, educate, grow, and learn, right? So I'm finna break down each one because, like I said, I like to go deep. Like I like to go deep in your mama, nigga. Yeah. So why do I want to educate and why do I want to teach, right? Specifically, why do I want to do it on YouTube? Well, the thing with teaching and educating, something that I see on YouTube specifically, is that it's a lot of potential, right? It's a lot of potential in being able to teach different topics, being able to, educate, on different platforms, not even just YouTube, but TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Like, I know people are constantly wanting to learn, right? People are constantly finding out different things. I think social media, that's probably one of the positives about social media, right? Is that a lot of information, so you can come across a lot of information. A lot of information is misinformation. A lot of the shit is lies. A lot of shit is bullshit. Sometimes the truth is misconstrued and shit, but you still can find out a lot through, not even through the social media, but you can find out a lot. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot of creators out there that have a lot of knowledge, they have a lot of information, they got a lot of resources and things like that. And I want to be one of those content creators that, like I said, I build a platform off teaching. Another thing that I want to do is I want to learn too. That's probably more important to me than teaching. The reason I'm doing this is so I can learn too. Because like I said, a lot of things I'm having to research, I'm having to, get the information, get the knowledge and shit. So I want to make sure that while I'm teaching, I'm still learning. I'm still open-minded to learning different things, different aspects, different perspectives on certain things, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, most of this stuff out here now is really perspective, you feel me? A lot of things we learning is from a different perspective. And a lot of people aren't willing to be open-minded to think differently, or open-minded to think, not think the same way that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm open-minded to think, to have an open mind on certain things that I probably didn't think I would maybe like 5 years ago. It's a lot of things, like my mind is constantly changing. Like it's a lot of things I used to believe in that I don't believe in. It's a lot of things I believe in now that I didn't believe in, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my purpose with this channel. Well, those are the two things that, kind of go hand in hand, is teaching and learning. Is, hey, I'm teaching y'all, but at the same time I'm teaching y'all, I'm learning too. Like I said, it's research I'm doing on, certain because like I said, my main thing right now is history. Right now I want to kind of focus mainly on history type content, and then I'm gonna transition to kind of doing different subjects like science. We're gonna do math. I'm probably not gonna do math too crazy because I'm not really, like, I used to swear to God I fuck with math. I hate math. I don't hate math. I don't hate math, but math is like super complex to me. Um, and like I said, it's not my favorite at all. I think it's probably one of the worst subjects out there. But I still like math though. I just don't like it like I used to. But yeah, so I will be transitioning to different subjects with the professional Lauren channel. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that y'all know that we are going to go through different subjects, right? We're gonna do philosophy. Really, I think philosophy might be up next after history, and then I might do religion, and then we're gonna do like science experiments and shit. Like I said, we're gonna have fun over here. I want to make sure that this shit over here is fun as it is educational, as it is informational. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so now we're gonna get into, what's the other one? We're gonna get into the purpose of growing, right? So purpose of growth on this channel is, of course, me growing the channel, right? But also I want growth and maturity from my audience, right? I want y'all, like I said, to grow with me. I don't want to just be growing by myself. Of course, like I said, it's a journey. Like, from here on out, this is a journey. You know what I'm saying? Even then, when I first started doing YouTube, it's still a journey, right? Because it took me a minute to really try to understand what I wanted to do with this shit, right? Now I ain't gonna lie, the thing that I'm lacking in is outside consistency is being lazy. Being lazy is fucking me up. Being lazy is the reason why my channel is not where the hell it should be. So in my mind, my thing is let me focus on taking notes, not being lazy to take notes, do my research, shit like that. And a lot of like one of the things that kind of slows my progress down when it comes to research is I try to make it understandable, right? I try to make sure what I'm putting out there is understandable. I'm not copying and pasting. I'm not reading off, you know what I'm saying, article word for word. I want to make sure that I'm using it. I'm saying it how, one, I want to make sure it makes sense to me. And I want to make sure that when I'm reading it, I can be able to differentiate what I'm reading and make it sound like me, not some shit that I'm reading like off a fucking book or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why, that's one of the things that I struggle with the most is that sometimes I kind of understand what I'm reading, but how do I articulate it in a way where the younger audience can understand what I'm saying and it makes sense to them? That's kind of what I think my main thing is when it comes to research and taking notes and shit. But my thing with this channel is growth, right? I want my audience, I want my supporters to grow with me. Cause if y'all ain't growing with me, then I'm failing as Professor Lauren. I'm not doing my job as Professor Lauren if y'all not growing with me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if I'm growing and my audience still or not, I'm not gonna say majority. I'm not gonna say all my audience is gonna grow with me. Of course, nah. Cause like I said, the way shit work is like you probably watch 1,000 creators a day or 100 creators a day. You feel me? So of course, like I said, but my thing is my core audience, the people that's gonna be with me, that's sticking with me. I want y'all to learn to be able to accept different opinions and not try to push, certain opinions the way that you don't agree with. Try to understand why they think the way they think. Try to understand why you think the way that you think, and try to kind of come to a middle ground. Not all the time, because there's certain opinions out there that's whack as fuck. But it's certain opinions where I feel like we too harsh. A lot of us are too harsh on other people's opinions because we was raised to think a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like racism. I think racism is something that should be studied, right? Now, I'm not a fan of racism. I think that there's levels of racism. I'm talking about the extreme levels of hate. I feel like you can be racist and not hate the opposite race or hate another race. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like racism as a whole, right? I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can hate a certain race, but that's where we get to trying to understand it. And that's one thing I want to do with my channel is to understand why are people racist? Why do people have racist ideology? Why do people believe that they're superior over another race? You know what I'm saying? So that's an example, right? And like I said, one thing that I want y'all to do is I want y'all to give me advice. I want y'all to tell me when I'm wrong. I want y'all to hold me accountable. I want y'all to let me know, hey nigga, hey Professor Lauren, you wrong on this. Hey Professor Lauren, this is misinformation. Hey Professor Lauren, I think you should do more research on this. I don't think you know what you're talking about, or I don't think you are well educated in what you're talking about. Right? I think you should do the video like this. I think that instead of you putting the outro as the putting the intro as the intro, you should put it as the outro. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to give me advice and things like that so I can take notes on it and I can start applying, you know what I'm saying, where I'm doing wrong and where I'm making mistakes at. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And I also want to be able to provide y'all insight as well and advice as well on the learning tip. Because like I said, y'all give me advice and I give y'all advice too. My thing with every channel that I have, I want to make sure that I am giving insight and I'm also taking insight and advice too. I don't want y'all just telling me where I'm wrong at. I want to tell y'all where y'all wrong at too, or I want to, kind of give y'all, a different way of thinking about certain things. So that's really that. So the main purpose of this channel is to give back, and I'm giving back knowledge, right? I'm giving back knowledge. You feel me? But I also do want to, like I said, I do also want to get back physically, right? You feel me? So whether that may be me doing a full giveaway, me doing a money giveaway, me doing, me trying to give opportunities to people, like, trying to help me start a business. Hey, you get a percentage of this business, you get a percentage of this business, or yeah, we collab, you know what I'm saying? I give you a percentage of the video, or whatever, however much the video make, I give you a percentage of that. Boom. Like I said, I want to give people opportunities because, like I said, these are things that I want, and I also want to be able to show people, hey, it's different ways to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's different ways to be able to capitalize. It's different ways to be able to get opportunities from, other brands or other sponsors, things like that. Like I said, right now, we at the bottom right now. But like I said, it ain't nothing but to go up. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but to go up. So yeah, it's only right that I bring y'all along the journey, bro. And it ain't gonna be too long, bro. It ain't gonna be too long until we get to where we need to go. You feel me? But yeah, man. So reason why I want to make this video is I wanted to state my intentions. I wanted to let y'all know, like I said, the purpose of Professor Laurent. And like I said, Professor Laurent is more than a channel, it's a brand, bro. Y'all see what I got on. This is marketing, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, like I was kind of on the phone, kind of role playing. If you catch the fit, you catch if you catch the vibe of the fit, you catch the vibe of the fit. But I was role playing this shit. Not that I wanted to, but it's just something that I'm like, somebody just was like, oh, let me hear you talk like a player. You feel me? Like a player pimp. You feel me? At first, I was like, I don't even know. Like I know kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of like know, but it's like I'm not really in the mood to get in character. But fuck it, I got in character. So I think I'm gonna try to adapt that to the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't want to go too crazy because, like I said, I am focused on the long term, so I don't want to be too explicit with things that I say. But I'm pretty sure I will though. But I think once I end up making my own website for the channel or for my channel and shit connected to my channel, I think do whatever we want to do. But also know that other people watching, so it's like, of course, other people watching, but I want to be mindful of what I say as well, because I don't want kids or children watching my videos saying, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, and I'll be like, damn, because your influence is way too. A lot of people don't understand their influence is major. They don't even understand how big their influence is and their impact is, bro. So if you want to be a content creator, you want to do videos, or you want to have some sort of image publicly, be careful what you do. And it seems like a lot of people either don't give a fuck until that shit come around and bite their ass, or you know what I'm saying, what shit hit the fan, and they like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just be careful what you put out there. So I gotta make sure that I be careful what I put out there, But yeah, man, I know this video way longer than it should be. It's 13 minutes right now. But that's what it is, man. This the purpose of Professor Laurent. We up out of here, man. And like I said, I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next video, man. Professor Laurent, we gone.